deal to hush money is now endangering Trump even more. I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Jesse Watters just made a shocking announcement on Harris Faulkner, and he said that what's happening is shocking. See, change is the name of the game in today's media landscape, and this sentiment rings true in the recent shocking announcement from Jesse Watters about his colleague Harris Faulkner, a long-standing figure at Fox News. But the reality is far more deeper than this. What happened to Faulkner has sent shockwaves through the industry, sparking discussions about the future of journalism and the shifting dynamics within major news organizations. So what's happened? And is this a trend as many fear? Think about it. Fox is constantly making headlines for being one of the most chaotic network ever. So how did we get her? On June 26, 2023, something unexpected happened during a live broadcast of The Five. Jesse Watters took to the airwaves to share a jaw-dropping announcement about Harris Faulkner's future at Fox News. Imagine the scene. Viewers were glued to their screens, waiting with bated breath for any news, especially in light of the significant programming changes that the network was undergoing after the sudden departure of Tucker Carlson earlier that year. The vibe was buzzing, with both the hosts and the audience utterly keen to witness how Fox would navigate this pivotal moment in its history. Watters' big reveal wasn't just a standalone piece of news. It emerged during a larger discussion about the transformations happening within the network's primetime lineup. He positioned Faulkner's decision to step away not merely as a personal choice, but rather as a reflection of the constantly shifting media landscape that today's seasoned journalists must learn to adapt to. It was a bold recognition of the changing world we live in and the necessity for evolution in the field of journalism. Diving into the specifics of the announcement, Watters disclosed that Harris Faulkner would be taking a step back from her role at Fox News to explore exciting new opportunities beyond the network's walls. He spoke highly of her extensive contributions over the years, projecting a sense of optimism that she would shine in whatever she decided to pursue next. With heartfelt sincerity, Watters shared, "Harris has been an incredible asset to Fox News and will be missed by all of us here." This statement packed a punch. It wasn't just a professional acknowledgement, but a warm testament to the respect and admiration he feels for her work and character. But that wasn't all. Amidst this big change, Watters hinted at additional transformations happening within Fox News itself. He suggested that the network is, in fact, undergoing a significant makeover, seeking ways to attract a younger audience, while still holding on to its loyal base of viewers. Watters added, "We're looking at new formats and ideas that resonate with our audience's evolving preferences." This remark not only touched on the exciting direction Fox is aiming for, but also highlighted broader trends in media consumption. As traditional cable news faces stiff competition from digital platforms and social media figures, the pressing need for adaptation has never been more critical. It raises an intriguing question. How will these changes affect the future of Fox and news networks? What are the implications? Keeping viewers on board after losing a dynamic personality like Harris Faulkner is no small feat for Fox News. The network has worked hard over the years to build a loyal audience, but now they're facing some serious challenges as viewers' habits shift rapidly. First off, let's talk about the growing phenomenon of viewer fragmentation. Nowadays, people crave news that resonates with their personal values and beliefs. This trend is especially noticeable among younger generations like millennials and Gen Z, who are gravitating more towards digital platforms instead of sticking with traditional cable news. A recent study even shows that around 60% of these younger viewers prefer getting their news fix through social media rather than tuning into cable TV. Wow, can you imagine that shift? With Faulkner's departure, there's a real chance some of her most loyal fans might start checking out alternative sources for their news and analysis. This could really throw a wrench in Fox News' plans to keep its audience intact. It's not just about losing a host, it's about potentially losing a chunk of viewership to other platforms that might be more appealing to those shifting demographics. Talk about a tricky situation. Now, let's dive into the credibility aspect. Faulkner's reputation as a trusted journalist has been a major stronghold for Fox News. Her exit raises some pretty big questions about the network's overall credibility. If Fox struggles to find a replacement who can match her stature, things could start to look shaky. Not only could this lead to a decline in viewer trust, but it opens the door for competitors to swoop in and attract those viewers who might be feeling disillusioned and looking for dependable reporting. And let's not forget, Faulkner has often been the voice championing responsible journalism and advocating for fact-based reporting. Her absence is sure to lead to doubts regarding Fox's commitment to these crucial principles, especially in our increasingly polarized media landscape. If viewers start questioning whether they can trust the news they're getting, it could push them away entirely. In short, maintaining viewer loyalty without Faulkner is going to be a challenge fraught with obstacles for Fox News. With changing viewer habits and rising concerns about credibility, the network has its work cut out. But this also creates opportunities for other journalists, and it looks like Jesse Watters is eyeing this chance. Jesse Watters' recent announcement regarding Harris Faulkner is about way more than just a shift in career. It serves as a clear reflection of the ongoing evolution taking place at Fox News. As the network strives to adapt to the changing demographics and preferences of its viewers, this all-important decision to promote Watters to the primetime slot previously occupied by Tucker Carlson reveals a significant level of trust in his skills. It's a bold move, especially considering the challenges Fox has encountered lately in keeping its audience engaged post-Carlson. His departure was a huge blow given the stellar ratings his show consistently earned. With Watters stepping into this key role, Fox is not only banking on his well-established connection with viewers, but is also looking to present fresh content that resonates with the current political landscape. There's a lot riding on this transition. Jesse Watters, born on July 9th, 1988 in the vibrant city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, has truly made a name for himself as a standout voice in American political commentary. He embarked on his journey with a degree in history from Trinity College and entered the world of Fox News back in 2003 as a production assistant. This starting point turned out to be incredibly significant. It granted him invaluable insights into the nitty-gritty of television production and journalism, which would serve him well as his career progressed. Watters often looks back on those early days with a sense of humor, recalling how he worked in a tight basement office, meticulously labeling cassette tapes for a mere $12 an hour without a hint of benefits. But things took a turn for the better when he was assigned to the O'Reilly Factor. It was there that he quickly gained fame for his engaging man-on-the-street segments, where he would conduct surprise interviews that often caught public figures off guard. This ability to connect with the public and provoke candid responses truly set him apart. One unforgettable moment involved him challenging an Alabama judge about a lenient sentence handed down in a child sex offender case. Watters' rapid-fire questioning undeniably rattled the judge, marking a significant moment early on in his career. That unique blend of humor with a confrontational approach later became Watters' unmistakable signature style. Fast forward to 2015, when Watters launched Watters World. What began as a casual weekend segment skyrocketed into a full-fledged show, largely due to its growing popularity. This format enabled him to merge lighthearted commentary with serious political discussions, successfully attracting younger viewers while remaining firmly grounded in conservative ideals. By the time 2022 rolled around, Watters had reached another milestone. He was elevated to host Jesse Watters Primetime, initially airing at 7 p.m., but later snagging the highly coveted 8 p.m. time slot directly following Tucker Carlson's exit. When it comes to his relationship with fellow Fox News powerhouse Harris Faulkner, it's characterized by a genuine sense of respect and camaraderie. Both of them play prominent roles at Fox and frequently share the screen on various shows, including the popular The Five. Their rapport is evident, often showcasing playful banter that resonates with viewers and adds a refreshing touch to political discussions. For example, when they tackle pressing political issues or hot topics in current events, you can expect a lively exchange of witty jabs, all while maintaining a sense of professionalism. Faulkner's composed demeanor beautifully complements Watters' lively and energetic presentation style, resulting in a captivating dynamic that truly engages audiences. Their chemistry shines through during live broadcasts, especially when navigating contentious subjects. They balance each other perfectly, making for must-watch television. This camaraderie not only enhances their individual personalities, but also reinforces the image of Fox News as a network committed to showcasing a variety of perspectives within its conservative framework. So, why did Faulkner's leave? There are three main reasons. Let's break them down. One of these reasons is personal beliefs. One big reason for Faulkner's departure could stem from a desire for more personal fulfillment in her life. After dedicating years to high-profile journalism, it's natural for her to seek a change that emphasizes balance. As someone in the public eye, she's frequently opened up about her life beyond the camera, discussing her roles as a dedicated mother and active philanthropist. Let's be real, being a national news anchor can demand long hours and extensive travel. travel. This can easily create a longing for more quality time with family, or the chance to pursue her personal passions. Take her charitable work for instance. Faulkner has committed herself to various initiatives, particularly focusing on women's empowerment and educational opportunities. This dedication likely inspired her to look for new opportunities that align more closely with her core values, giving her the chance to make a direct impact in her community. So, when she chose to leave Fox News, it might reflect a strategic decision aimed at channeling her energy into philanthropy or motivational speaking, areas where she has already established a strong reputation and influence. Moreover, Faulkner's experiences as an African-American woman in the media landscape certainly play a role in her decision. Facing the challenges that come with that position has likely motivated her to advocate for diversity and representation within journalism. By stepping away from the traditional constraints of media, she's in a great position to pursue projects that resonate deeply with her identity and experiences. This allows her to empower and inspire others navigating similar paths. But what's the second reason? Well, it is all about opportunities. Faulkner's departure from Fox News opens up a world of opportunities beyond the network. The media landscape has transformed dramatically in recent years, with many journalists shifting to independent platforms that offer greater creative control and flexibility. For example, take former Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly, who has successfully launched her own podcast and digital platform after leaving the network, allowing her to connect with audiences on her own terms. Faulkner could easily follow that path. She might consider starting her own podcast or even launching a digital news platform tailored to her audience. The rise of independent journalism means that professionals aren't restricted to traditional television formats. They can create content that genuinely reflects their values and interests, without the constant pressure to score high ratings or wade through corporate politics. This new reality is particularly appealing for someone like Faulkner, who has built a reputable career based on trust and credibility. Additionally, there's a growing demand for specialized journalism, as audiences increasingly seek out content that zeroes in on critical issues like criminal justice reform or healthcare. Faulkner's background in political reporting positions her perfectly to carve out a niche in advocacy journalism. Imagine her focusing on causes that resonate with her own personal values. She could leverage her platform effectively to champion social issues she cares about deeply. Furthermore, the world beyond traditional journalism is full of potential for Faulkner. She may find exciting opportunities in public speaking or consulting. Many former journalists like George Stephanopoulos have transitioned successfully into political commentary or advisory roles, using their communication skills and public presence in dynamic new ways. There's an entire universe of possibilities out there waiting for her to explore. Now, if we zoom out and look at the broader industry context, we see that the media landscape is undergoing significant transformations that impact the career decisions of journalists like Faulkner. Traditional cable news is facing challenges from digital platforms tailored to shifting viewer preferences. Recent studies show younger audiences are moving away from conventional cable news in favor of streaming services and social media platforms that offer a variety of perspectives and interactive content. This is the third reason for her departure, and this shift has prompted many seasoned journalists to rethink their roles in traditional media. With the rise of digital platforms, journalists have more opportunities than ever to engage directly with their audiences. Platforms such as Substack and Patreon allow creators to monetize their content independently while building solid followings without the constraints of corporate oversight. For Faulkner, this evolving media landscape offers a chance to connect with her audience authentically and meaningfully. To add to the mix, the growth of subscription-based journalism illustrates a rising trend where consumers are willing to pay for quality content tailored to their interests. This trend beautifully aligns with Faulkner's possible shift towards advocacy journalism or issue-based reporting, realms where she can utilize her expertise and credibility while addressing the topics she's passionate about. See, the media landscape is in the midst of a major overhaul, especially when it comes to cable news. Traditional formats are encountering fierce competition from the rise of digital media and the changing habits of viewers, but we need to talk about this in detail, so the new age. According to a study from the Pew Research Center, a whopping 86% of Americans now get their news from digital sources. This trend is mainly driven by younger folks who are increasingly choosing platforms offering quick and engaging content instead of the more slow-paced, scheduled programming typically associated with cable news. It's a captivating shift, particularly among millennials and Gen Z, who love getting their news through social media, podcasts, and newsletters. As these younger generations become the primary audience, cable cable news networks like Fox News find themselves facing a tough dilemma. How do they keep their loyal viewers engaged while adjusting to these new consumption habits? With the average Fox News viewer being around 65 years old, it's clear that the traditional audience is aging, while younger viewers are exploring alternative news sources. This evolution suggests that even established figures like Harris Faulkner might feel boxed in by a traditional format that doesn't really resonate with the newer crowds. Adding to this complexity is the rise of niche journalism, which tailors content specifically to cater to distinct interests or ideologies. Audiences today are no longer just passive consumers of news. They're on the hunt for personalized news experiences that reflect their values. This has led to a fragmentation of viewership, meaning traditional cable news outlets are struggling to capture attention in a world filled with diverse media options. Let's chat about social media for a moment. These platforms have completely transformed how we consume and share news. In the past, journalists had a significant amount of control over what stories made the headlines and how those stories were presented. Nowadays, platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram empower non-journalists to share news and commentary, creating a more democratized, though often chaotic, info landscape. But what exactly should we expect? It is clear that the ongoing dominance of the social media platforms will keep on changing the game. Think about it. Social media is now both a place where news gets disseminated and a tool for audience engagement. A study by Ofcom revealed that how news content is ranked in social media feeds has a major impact on user interaction. Algorithms decide what appears on users' screens based on their past behaviors. This often results in sensational or clickbait-like headlines capturing more attention than thoughtful, in-depth reporting. Traditional news outlets have quickly realized they need to adopt savvy social media strategies to connect with audiences where they're most active. For example, many cable news networks have made it a point to maintain dynamic social media profiles to promote their content and interact with viewers directly. This shift has not only changed how newsrooms operate, but has also impacted the role of journalists. They're now expected to wear two hats, not only as reporters, but also as social media strategists. However, juggling both roles can blur the lines of journalistic integrity, as the pressure to generate clicks often overshadows the commitment to quality reporting. But at the end of the day, as seasoned journalists become more aware of the limitations of conventional media models, we may see an increasing number of them opting for independent platforms that provide greater room for creativity and flexibility. Faulkner's possible move into the digital or independent media sphere could place her at the forefront of a new wave of journalism, a wave that emphasizes audience engagement and multimedia storytelling. This evolution inevitably raises important questions about trust in journalism. As audiences continue to fragment and become pickier about their news sources, upholding credibility will be essential for both traditional and emerging platforms. The challenge here lies in balancing profit with journalistic integrity, something that's clearly been a concern for Faulkner, especially considering her frustrations with the sensationalism often found in cable news. Additionally, as more digital platforms spring up, traditional networks must innovate to keep their audiences engaged. This could mean investing heavily in digital content and expanding streaming services to meet the demands of on-demand viewing habits. For instance, CNN has recently launched its own streaming service to adapt to the shifting preferences of viewers. But this industry runs on attention, and whenever something like this happens, you have to ask one major question. What was the public's reaction? The announcement of Harris Faulkner's departure from Fox News sparked a wave of reactions across social media platforms, forums, and viewer polls, illustrating a complex tapestry of viewer sentiment. On Twitter, hashtags like #HarrisFaulkner and #Waters announcement trended for days, with users expressing shock, disappointment, and speculation about her future. A poll conducted on a popular news forum showed that 68% of respondents were surprised by Faulkner's decision, with many citing her as a trusted voice in their daily news consumption. Comments varied widely. Some viewers praised her for breaking barriers as one of the few prominent black women in conservative media, while others expressed concern about the implications of her leaving such a high-profile position. For instance, one user noted, "Harris brought a unique perspective to Fox that will be sorely missed," highlighting her role in diversifying the network's narratives. Conversely, some commenters speculated that her exit might signal a shift towards more opinion-driven content at Fox News. news, reflecting broader concerns about the state of journalism today. Platforms like Facebook and Reddit also featured extensive discussions. On Facebook groups dedicated to Fox News viewers, many expressed nostalgia for Faulkner's tenure and shared clips from memorable segments she hosted. A Reddit thread titled "What Does Faulkner's Exit Mean for Fox News?" garnered hundreds of comments, with users debating the potential impact on the network's credibility and its audience's trust. The media coverage surrounding Faulkner's departure has been extensive and multifaceted. Major outlets like CNN and the New York Times provided analyses that framed her exit within the larger context of shifting dynamics in cable news. Articles emphasized how Faulkner's departure is emblematic of a broader trend where established journalists are leaving traditional networks for more independent platforms. For example, CNN highlighted how this trend reflects a growing disillusionment among journalists regarding corporate media structures. Fox News itself addressed the announcement through various segments featuring Jesse Waters and other colleagues discussing Faulkner's contributions to the network. Waters remarked on her groundbreaking role and noted that her departure would leave a significant void in their programming. This internal acknowledgement underscores the weight of her influence within the network. Additionally, public discourse extended beyond traditional media outlets. Influential figures in journalism took to social media to comment on Faulkner's legacy. Renowned journalist Dan Rather tweeted, "Harris Faulkner has been a trailblazer in an often unwelcoming environment. Her departure raises questions about diversity in media." Such statements reflect a recognition of Faulkner's impact not only on Fox News, but also on the industry as a whole. Harris Faulkner's contributions to journalism will likely be remembered as both groundbreaking and transformative. As one of the few black women to anchor at Fox News, she broke significant barriers in an industry often criticized for its lack of diversity. Her career is marked by numerous accolades, including 6 Emmy Awards and recognition as one of the most influential women in journalism by various organizations. Faulkner's ability to blend sharp political analysis with empathetic storytelling resonated with a wide audience, making her a trusted figure during critical news events such as the Sandy Hook shooting and major political elections. Her show, The Faulkner Focus, became known for tackling complex issues while maintaining a sense of professionalism and balance, qualities that are increasingly rare in today's polarized media landscape. In light of her departure, discussions around her legacy often center on the importance of maintaining diverse voices in journalism. Many commentators argue that her exit highlights systemic issues within media organizations that struggle to accommodate journalists who wish to maintain independence while also representing minority perspectives. As she transitions into new projects, potentially focusing on independent media or personal storytelling, Faulkner's career may serve as an inspiration for other journalists seeking to carve out their own paths outside traditional frameworks, just like Tucker Carlson. After leaving the network in April 2023, Carlson has adapted to a new role that allows him to exercise influence and power in less conventional ways. He has launched a new media venture that has garnered attention for its provocative content, including controversial interviews and discussions. One notable event recently featured him in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where he participated in a political gathering alongside J.D. Vance, the Republican Party's nominee for vice president. This event attracted thousands of attendees, with ticket prices reaching up to $1,600, indicating Carlson's continued popularity and ability to draw large crowds despite the backlash he has faced since leaving Fox. Carlson's new platform has not been without controversy. He has been criticized for promoting views that many consider extreme, including hosting a historian who made alarming comments regarding Nazi sympathies. This has led to backlash from both sides of the political spectrum, but figures like Vance have chosen to align themselves with Carlson, emphasizing a commitment to free speech and debate. This partnership highlights Carlson's ongoing influence within the Make America Great Again movement and suggests that his impact on conservative politics may persist. But most importantly, his exit symbolizes broader shifts within traditional media as personalities increasingly wield more influence than the networks themselves. But what's your thoughts on this? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.